The thing about gas gauges on the Ford F-150 is, when they stop working, it's like going back to the Stone Age. You're left guessing, do I have half a tank, or am I about to run out on the freeway? And the pain is real, because the F-150 isn't a Prius. If you're misreading the gas one wrong trip and you're spending your morning awkwardly filling up a gas can on the side of I-5, ask me how I know. Most of the time, the gauge issue comes down to the fuel sending unit, which is literally the part inside your gas tank that tells the dashboard what's up. These things get tired, dirty, or just quit out of nowhere. The first step, you have to check if your fuse is blown. Yes, an electrical fuse. It's mind-numbingly basic, but a blown fuse in the fuse box can take your gauge out, and people waste hours jumping to the hardest fixes. If the fuses are fine, grab an OBD-II scanner and plug it in under the dash. Modern F-150s will blab about sensor faults, giving you a chance to pinpoint fuel sender circuit malfunction without playing electrical detective for hours. The real pain point, checking the fuel sending unit, isn't for the faint-hearted. You're either lowering that mammoth gas tank, or if you're lucky, pulling the bed off the truck. It's messy, time-consuming, and you'll smell like gasoline for days. Once you get in there, you'll see the sending unit float. Over time, the float can get sticky, corroded, or even break off and start living its best life as a rattle in your tank. The pro tip, replace the entire fuel pump assembly if you're already in there. Let's talk numbers. 80% of gas gauge failures in F-150s from 1997 to 2014 are traced to the sending unit or its wiring. DIY repair with replacement parts might set you back $120 to $250 versus a $600+ shop bill, so there's impact value if you do it yourself. Sometimes it's not the sending unit, it's wiring corrosion or a broken ground. The Midwest and anywhere salty in winter are notorious for this. Chasing electrical gremlins is a blood sport, but look for obvious wire cuts or green crusting on connectors. There's a classic hack. Cycle your ignition key from off to run 3 times not to start, and watch the gauge. If it jumps or does anything weird, you may just have an instrument cluster issue. Dash clusters aren't perfect, especially on F-150s with some mileage. Resetting the battery is another free fix. Pull the negative terminal off for 5 minutes, reconnect, and cross your fingers. Sometimes the gauge just needs to recalibrate its life choices, like all of us. Worst case, if nothing works, you're back to keeping a notebook by your odometer, old school style, recording mileage between fill-ups. It's inconvenient, yes, but it sure beats pushing an F-150 down the road. And honestly, until Ford goes all digital, that mechanical float will just keep breaking our hearts.